Subscribe if you are feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. Alright, Catanians, we are back with the updated version of the Catan Universe app. And yes, of course, it's been updated many times, but now we have a cool new look going on. So some of the clickables, or touchables I should say, since it's a touchscreen that I'm using on my iPhone, are new and improved, look a little better, just a little different. And you still have all your same scenarios, but you do have special scenarios which are not new to this update, but are new to one of the recent updates. And I will be playing the special scenarios just to try them out. And I may post some gameplay on them just to showcase those. And I also need to learn, once and for all, how to play Rivals for Catan, because I've only played that once and I made a video on it. I actually won without knowing what the rules are. I still honestly don't know how to play it. I just clicked around and got lucky, or the other player just sucked at it. I really don't know. And then Rise of the Incas, or Rise of the Inca, I need to figure out how to play that one and make some videos on that one, because that's available for me to play online right now, I believe. So good stuff here. The loading screen looks pretty cool. And now when you are waiting for people to join in for an auto match or an online match, there'll be four little boxes, and they will light up orange as players join in to your lobby right before a match is starting. So you know exactly how many players are going to be hopping in, whereas before, in older versions of Catan, it would tell you, but it kind of seemed buggy to me, because it would be like, 3 out of 4 players or whatever, but it kept like jumping down, like from 3 to 0 to 1 to 4 to 2, like it was all over the place. So this seems like it's a little more smoothed out, at least. So let's just jump into a match. We're playing some Seafarers, I decided, and you'll see I put my starting settlement on the 5 sheep 6 wood with the wood port. But the story of this game, as you'll see, is I really should have put it on that initial spot that I was thinking about, where I clicked on with the 10 wheat, 10 wood, and the 4 brick, because what a hot spot that will be. But not for me, unfortunately. And it just makes sense. Hindsight, or what is it, 2020 is what's the saying? Something about hindsight, and you don't know until you've done it. I'm drawing a blank right now. I've worked hard and long all week long this week. But another cool feature of the update is whenever a player places a settlement or a road or a city, the game will actually zoom in on that spot for you and even center that up on the screen, which is really cool. And then once they are done placing said settlement or road or city, then the game will then zoom the camera back out to a nice central viewing point to view the entire board. And most people don't have the game out quite this far, because right now you can see Red's pieces on the side of the table, the virtual table, and you can see part of the little plate with the candle, which I don't even know if most people know that that's a thing, like it's just a little design element. But yeah, you're playing on a table with a candle on a plate. I guess that's harkens back to cultural items back in this game was made by a German guys. I don't know if they're going for that, but the German people, maybe 100 200 years ago, have candles on plates at the table with doing various activities, possibly even board games. That's a question for the historians in the comments section below, so just answer me that. But we are going to have a interesting game for sure. I don't know if it's going to be a good one, but it'll be interesting, because although I am on the wood port with a 6 wood, how can you deny that strategy? It's flawless, right? No, because my second starting settlement, I unwisely or wisely, I'll let you guys be the judge of that, built on 3 stone, 9 stone, and 8 wood. Now I'm actually having, yeah, that's what it is. The screen was so far zoomed out, I was having trouble reading it on the playback. And that's one thing about Seafarers that's kind of, you know, for actually looking at the board, you really need to zoom in a lot. Thankfully, when I'm playing on my phone, it's easy to see. But now trying to look back to edit the video, I'm like, wow, that board is kind of tiny. So I may have to see if I can do anything about that in the editing. Although some of the other parts of the screen will have to be sacrificed. But that's okay. As long as you all can see the gameplay as we roll along here. And I get to steal an ore. For you people that don't like me to say stone, I will say ore. Or I will say rock, whichever you want me to say for everyone to be on the same page. Maybe I'll try to go with ore consistently. So now I have 4 ore and 1 wheat. And you'll notice I'm not built on wheat, so I'm kind of relying on either the trades or gather 2 wood, or lumber, I should say, and trade it in for said wheat. So we're going to see if that's going to happen. Red has already built themselves 2 ships, and they're going down to hop on that other island. They're probably not going to build on that 2 brick that they're touching right now. They're probably going to go over a little bit to the 10s. But they already have a good strategy in mind, because in Seafarers, in this specific scenario, the 4 islands, if you build on an island that you're not already built on, you get 1 victory point for the settlement and 2, count them, 2 additional victory points just for building on a new island. It's like a special victory point thing. And yeah, there they go. Now they're gonna start heading over to the 10 wood. They may even build 1 more ship to get on that 10 wheat, because that would be very ideal for them. They already have an 8 wheat, but they're on the 3-for-1 port, and a 10 wood and a 10 wheat. Getting both of those on a single 10 roll is not a bad thing at all. And 2, when is 2 gonna get rolled, am I right? So 7 is rolled, and what else do we got? Okay, we got gray. Gray has a good, I was considering what gray did with building on that top island. They got sheep, ore, brick, and wheat. And they have some pretty decent numbers, of course, except for the 3 ore, but the other numbers are really good. So on the other end, they share the 8 wood with me. They're on a 9 wheat and 11 sheep. But they pointed their road, I think, in the wrong direction. I think they should have gone down to the wheat port and tried to get that, because looking ahead, they will try to want to build on that 3 or 8 wheat at the top of your screen and pair that with a wheat port. You'll be doing just excellent. And then later you can think about pointing that road off of the 8 wood over towards the 3 or 11 sheep, 11 wheat, because 11s are, they're hit or miss, I think. I usually never build on them, but that's just me. And now I'm at a point where I can upgrade to a city, which I'm going to choose to do, because honestly, I'm only built on 3 different resources, so having twice as many of those coming in by having a city is going to be very ideal. And also, even though this is kind of a quirky strategy, it's not that bad if you really look closely at it, because I have the wood port with my 6 wood. I also am built on a 5 sheep. If you look at my other starting settlement, I'm just about to get on a sheep port on that 9 ore. So that's not a bad thing to have both ports for your shipbuilding resources. Because once you're done building ships, then you can just turn around and start trading those in at a 2-for-1 rate. Although in Seafarers, rarely do you build all 15 of your ships. That's right, you only get 15. You also have 15 roads. So technically, you can build a longest shipping route of length 30 if you get them all in a single continuous line, which actually, shameless plug, I have done before. Go check it out on my channel, my Catan Universe playlist, or just search up 30 length shipping route. I think that's what I called it, and it should pop up. And you'll see on the thumbnail, I put a whatever number video it was. It's in there's a big green number in the thumbnail that I usually try to do in all of my Catan videos. So if you want to go check that one out, it's up. A pretty cool challenge. Took me a couple tries because usually people win before I can build all the roads and ships. And surprisingly, getting them all in a continuous line is not as easy as it sounds because of space constraints, because of what other players are doing on the board. Yeah, it's actually pretty tough. So the gray, there we go, very smart, getting on that 8 wheat. They already have it in 8, but it's only putting out wood. So to have wheat coming in too is just sublime for them. And now I think they should build down to that wheat port. And you'll see I threw down my road because I want to get on that sheep port. And having 2 ports, I know one of them is not a 3-for-1 port. I think that's the most ideal, to have a 3-for-1 port and then maybe like one other port for a resource that you're built on a lot. There's a 3-for-1 port is so versatile. Red has the right idea because Red's got a lot of different resources coming in. They got brick, wheat, wood, yeah, sheep and ore. They got all of them coming in, and not bad numbers either. So Red elected to put their 3rd settlement on the board on the 2 brick, 10 wood. And I say 3rd settlement because the settlement that is now a city was a settlement at one point. So they're now built on, it's no longer a new island to them that they built on. So they did get the 2 special victory points after their initial victory point for the settlement. But if they build again on that island, it will just be normal victory points. 1 victory point for a settlement, 2 for a city. So although they won't be getting any special victory points, it still massively behooves them to continue building on that island, because as you can see, no one else is on that island, and it has some hot spots. It has what they're just about to get on. As I get the sheep port, by the way, they're just about to hop on that 10 wood, 10 wheat, 4 brick. And then they could even swing down to the other middle section of the island and get on the 10 wood, 4 wood, 12 brick. And by that point, almost have every number on the board. Because they currently have 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and they would gain the 12. Okay, so they're missing the 3 and the 11, essentially. But they have very great number diversity, very great resource diversity. And I say resource diversity is great because that island only consists of mainly brick and wood with a wheat hex, and their other placement they're built on at the top of the screen is brick and wheat. But their city is raking in the wood, the sheep, and the ore. So it kind of evens it out. They're built on a lot more brick and wood hexes, but those are just settlement placements. The city is doubling up on the sheep and the ore, so it's making up for the production, essentially, by having the city. That's why cities are so very important in all the game modes across the board, because if you can double your production, you can just essentially build things that much faster and by, in effect, win faster. Of course, people shutting you down and getting a monopoly used on you and all that is just part of the game, part of what people will do once they find out and realize you are a target, a force to be reckoned with. They will come after you. Okay, another 6 is rolled. I get 2 wood, and for me, because I have the wood port, that's essentially like having a gold hex, because I can trade it in for anything I want. So it's kind of nice. Whenever you have 3 wood and a wood port, you also have a road, if you think about it, because you can just trade in that 2 wood for a brick and just build a road, or trade in for a sheep and have a ship. Thankfully, I have 2 sheep already in the inventory, so I could build 2 ships if I wanted. And at this point, I should have already been on that island that Red is so greatly expanded on. And look at this right here. I need to call this out. I put that pirate ship right there for a reason. I knew I was not going to steal from Red. But I knew that by placing it there, that Red was not going to be able to get over to that left island so easily, because I'm on that island, and I know that if they get over there, that'll be a new island to them, and they'll get 3 victory points for throwing a settlement down on there, and that will boost them even further than what they already are. And me and Gray are way behind. And then what does Gray do? Gray just moves the pirate ship out of pure greed or not thinking, I'm not sure, maybe a mixture of the two, and steals a card from Red. Why not move the robber? I know the robber was on Red's 5 ore, but we can shut other things down from Red, maybe the 9 sheep, because Red is building a lot of ships. So cut out their sheep because they don't have any other sheep hexes, and really stick it to them and slow down their progress. But no, Gray single-handedly ruined my whole strategy with blocking out Red from building on that new island. And I think they just gave him the game, honestly, at that point. Hand it to him on the silver platter. What do they build? Right, they'd be touching that 3 ores. So ore platter is what Red handed them the game on. Although it may not have avoided the inevitable, it may not have stopped it, because Red was just doing very well this game. I honestly should not have second guessed myself on that starting settlement and just plopped it right down that 10 wood, 10 wheat, 4 brick. I think I would have done a lot better. And now I get shut down with the pirate ship, which makes sense for Red to get it out of there, but it was just a bummer that they had to put it right there on me, because I wanted to just build one more ship and then get on the brick port with the 2 brick and the 4 wood, and then have a 1 length longer shipping route, so maybe I could start to think about taking longest shipping route. But alas, Red just has way too many roads and ships out on the board. They just placed down another settlement. They're at double-digit victory points. I am way behind them. I'm in dead last. I'm at 4 victory points. I'm like, am I too distracted by the update from this app? I don't know what it is. Am I just really enjoying all the different little things they changed? Or am I just trying to pull off an orthodox challenge like I've done so many times on my channel? I don't know. Maybe a mixture of the two. But this game was just not really my game. And I knew that from the second that Red built on a new island for themselves. I was like, wow, they are really going to take off, and I'm not going to be able to catch up. And that's what I think. Luckily, I do get a successful trade here. And Gray says GG Red. They already think that Red's going to win. Although, I do have a trick up my sleeve. I'm going to throw down a settlement for 3 victory points and boost myself ahead of Gray. Because if I can't beat Red, then you can sure as heck believe that I'm going to battle it out with Gray for second place. For the first loser award, right? Because I just need to spite Gray, because Gray moved that pirate ship. Maybe I should have said something in the chat. Maybe I should have been like, do not do this, because red will go over and build on a new island and gain 3 more victory points, and that would just be bad all around. And let's also try to slow down their longest shipping route, make them build out the other way or something. But no, Gray they had to steal a card, and it had to be with the pirate ship. Luckily for Gray, they do upgrade to a city right there, so they're not totally dead in the water. Kind of like how I'm feeling in this game. And I believe they have been building development cards, so they may be trying to go for largest army. We'll keep monitoring that. But we're coming in here down to the near last few turns of the game, and I'm really trying to figure out what I can do. If there's really anything, I trade in for a wheat so I can try to start to get my second city. But a 9 is rolled, and I just get more ore, and sheep goes to red. And red, with only a 3-for-1 port, did very well for themselves. Because at this point, I have 3 ports. And that just goes to show you, having all the ports in the world won't necessarily guarantee your victory. I have 3 very good ports. I have the sheep port, wood port, and brick port. And there you go. Gray does take largest army, boost themselves to 8 victory points, and I can't let them beat me, so I'm going to have to see what I can do next turn. And I get shut down, but thankfully Gray is smart, takes from red, because red's at 10 victory points, and we're only going to, I think we're going to 12 or 13. I want to say it's 13 if I remember correctly. And I roll a 5, and that gives me just enough cards to trade in the 2 sheep in my port for the wheat, and I can get a city. I'm going to plop it down on my initial starting settlement spot on the 8 wood, 9 ore, 3 ore. Another 9 is rolled, and honestly, I'm like, that might be it. If red plops down that settlement, we're done for. If a 7 was rolled, they may have had to burn cards. They may have had more than 7. But, oh no. Actually, instead, they bought a development card and drew a victory point development card. How exciting for them. So they had 3 victory point development cards. That's crazy. They were hiding those from us. I didn't realize. I should have clicked on their the player icons to see how many development cards they were holding. They were actually holding 3 of them. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys like the update if you're playing Catan Universe. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.